Hello, Haygood friends. I'm here for our next episode of Hang On, Hang In, Haygood. And we have the pleasure of speaking with some church members, the Slovenskys. Welcome, Slovenskys. We're glad to have you. We have Eric and Lynette and Larry. Welcome to the show. Glad to have you guys.
Glad to be here. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, so I'm just going to ask you our format. In the midst of COVID-19, how have you guys been hanging on?
Well, it's been different. So Larry's working from home. You can talk about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I've been working from home, and it's gone actually really well. I typically, before had only worked at home maybe in the mornings or on the weekends, but being full-time at home here has actually worked really well. And it stayed busy, which is a good thing during this, during these crazy times.
And I basically can no longer work at Georgia Tech because of COVID-19. So I got a job working with DoorDash. So now I drive around delivering food all day long, and I enjoy driving. So it's actually kind of fun, and that's pretty much what I do.
Biggest change was having Eric had to leave campus and come home in March.
Yeah.
And instead of being on campus, he's finished his first year at Georgia Tech. So he got the joy of moving back home with his parents.
Yes, a lot of joy from that.
I can hear the sarcasm a little bit.
Yeah.
So that's wonderful. So DoorDash, like, tell me about DoorDash. That's an interesting thing. What's that been like?
I just keep the app running on my phone, and it tells me, go to this restaurant, pick up your food for James or whatever, and then I drive to James's house and give James the food. And they pay me for that. That's all I have to do. Does
James tip well?
Well, I don't know about James, but in general, yeah, it tips pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it, and it's paying me pretty well.
It's like a job.
Yeah, definitely.
Really. So our older son, John, is in Columbia, South Carolina. He just finished his senior year of college. And so, of course, we had all these plans to go for graduation in May, and that didn't happen. And he has an apartment, so he just stayed there. And his lease will be up at the end of the month. But he hasn't been able to find a job. He tried to get on at DoorDash in Columbia, and there's a wait list for drivers. They don't have as much demand, I guess, in Columbia, South Carolina. So
there's plenty of demand here in Atlanta, I tell you.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yep. Yeah, we probably order out 2 or 3 times a week.
So Lynette, one of the things that a lot of people know, some may not know, you did come down with COVID-19 several months ago.
I did. Yeah, so I got it really early on. I was probably exposed in mid-March, and I'm very fortunate because I had really mild symptoms. So that was a blessing. And in fact, I didn't really know that I had it at first until the news reports started coming out in mid-March about people losing their ability to taste and smell. And that's when I realized, wait a minute, my food hasn't been tasting right the last couple of days. And I started going around the house, pulling out things to smell, vinegar and ammonia, and I couldn't smell anything at all. And that was actually my main symptom. I also turned out to have a very low grade fever, like, 99.5. And that was kind of it for me. I isolated as soon as I got my test back, and Larry didn't get it, and Eric didn't get it. And I had been around some people over the weekend, and luckily none of them got it either. They all isolated 14 days. And then I did have a negative test after that. So I was sort of over it then. But I was really lucky it was mild. I know it's been a lot worse for a lot of people.
And you got it early on when it was really, rare. How did that feel to be, feeling like I'm the one that got it? And how did that feel?
It was a little weird because I didn't know very many other people who had it. So you have a little bit of a sense of being a pariah. And I isolating upstairs in the room, but I work in healthcare, so I told everybody about it. It wasn't a secret, and I was just lucky that it was so mild. So I fortunate about that. And I did have an antibody test at the end of May, which was about 6 weeks after I was first exposed. And I have the antibodies, which is a little bit comforting, but we still don't know if the antibodies are going to protect you for very long or how effective they're going to be. So I still treat myself as though I've never had it. I wear a mask every time I go to a store or, when I go to work, any indoor situation around other people.
Larry, was she a good patient?
Oh, she was an excellent patient. So, and Eric and I ended up, I think we survived without her being with us completely. She was upstairs isolated, and Eric and I made all the food and, carefully put it outside the room. And then, we had
away from the door so we didn't get sick.
Yeah, we had a little, we had a little good setup that was, socially distant, where we would place the food outside the door. And then she would, then we would walk away. Then she would take the food and eat it, and then leave the dishes back for us. But it worked well, and we all survived. But as Lynette said, we didn't get it. Neither Eric nor I got it. I ended up getting the antibody test just like a month or two ago, just to see if somehow maybe I got a non-symptomatic case, but I did not. Unfortunately, fortunately or unfortunately, but I did not pass to either of us.
Well, that's amazing. That's amazing in itself. So you guys should be commended just for that. My goodness.
Yep.
Well, how would you tell other people to hang in the midst of this? This has been a hard 4 months, but however long it's been, 5 months, who knows? How would you encourage other people during this time?
Well, I think it's important. We have tried to stay connected to our family. Both of my brothers and my mom live here in town as well. And so, I think we all are grappling with this required distancing that everybody has to deal with. And so, kind of staying in touch with the family, staying in touch with friends. We have tried to, be as connected as we can with our friends as well. And so making an effort to reach out and, keep those connections going, I think has helped us. I think it's a critical thing to do. It's easy to get obsessed with how the negative aspects of all of this, but kind of keeping in mind the people that are critical to your life and staying in touch with them has been it's been really important for all of us, I think.
Yeah, something that's been tough is both my mother and Larry's mother are in high risk category, and so we can't see them very much. And my mom lives in a senior living apartment, and they've been on lockdown all this time. So from the beginning of March, last time I saw her, haven't been able to see her at all except to go around behind her apartment. She has a balcony on the 3rd floor, and I can yell up to her from down below. But we got a little break where she actually needed to have some dental surgery, and they allowed me to come in and stay with her for a couple of days about a week and a half ago. So that was really nice, because that's the first time I've really been able to have conversation except on the phone with her. And Larry's mom's been coming in, sitting like 10 feet away from us on the deck, and we've been visiting outdoors that way. So that's been nice.
Yep.
Oh, how wonderful. I mean, that has to be so tough for the, for that demographic, and what a great thing to do.
Yep. That's right.
Eric, what about you? What would you encourage your friends to do during this time?
I mean, I'd say probably like reaching out to people just through the internet and whatever is probably the best way to stay in touch and stay in good attitude and all of that. I mean, ideally, I would want to be able to just go and hang out with my friends all the time, but I know that it's dangerous to do that because you don't want to spread the disease. Even though, like, I personally am not at high risk because I'm only 19 years old, it's just not worth it to go hang out with people because you might spread it. But I think using the internet is a really good way to do it.
Wonderful.
We've also been watching a lot of television, Will. Binging a lot of TV.
What Netflix show can you recommend to the group?
So one that we really liked and we all three watched together was actually recommended by Debbie Wood, so I'll shout out to her. It was Imposters on Netflix. So we really liked that. That was really good. It has a lot of plot twists.
Imposters. All right.
Yeah.
I like it. I
What else?
like it.
The Expanse. We watched
Yeah,
that.
talk about that.
Yep.
We watched this like science fiction TV show called The Expanse. We watched that one together too. I'm not sure if it was on Netflix.
Yeah, it might have been.
I think it was
That
on
might be
Amazon
Yeah, I
Prime.
think that might be
Yeah.
Amazon. Yep.
That was good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, we started off here, originally trying to get everybody on a schedule with the kids, and then finally we just said, all right, Disney Plus, here we come. So Eric, how are you feeling about fall semester?
I mean, I want it to be in person. Like, I want to go back to class in the fall, and I've seen online a lot of Georgia Tech students are the opposite of me. Like, they want it to be online in the fall and stuff like that. And my personal thought is just, like, I want to go to college. Like, online classes are not really teaching me anything at all. Like, in the spring when we had online classes, I felt like I learned it like maybe half as well as I would have if I had been in person. And so I'm really hoping that we have in-person classes in the fall, but I mean, the virus is just getting worse right now, so who knows what's going to happen.
Yeah, that's a real struggle. You want to do what's right, but at the same time, we want to see our friends and get back to some routines. I mean, we're experiencing that with Atlanta Public Schools. They're recommending that, we're going to start off virtually, and we totally understand every reason for that. But, it's hard to tell our kids that they're not going to be able to see their friends for the first 9 weeks of school. So we get that tension.
Yeah.
All right. What do y'all miss about Haygood?
I miss sitting in the place we've been sitting for 25 years, which is the back right part of the sanctuary, and we're usually on the same pew as Jim and Nona Bell, and I just miss sitting them and seeing them down to our right at the other end and saying good morning. Yeah.
So we attended the live service a few weekends ago, and it was great to see people again. Kind of seeing everybody together again was a great thing when we got to experience it. And I think that's what of course is one of the things we miss.
I miss your sermons.
Good answer. All right. I'm calling DoorDash.
Sounds good. I'm a good driver.
That's awesome.
I miss communion. Do you think we're going to be able to do a drive-through communion?
We're going to do it this Sunday, 5 o'clock.
All right.
5 o'clock drive-through communion. And we're working on all the safety procedures to make sure it happens. But it's going to be between 5 and 6 so that we don't have a rush of people all at the same time.
Ah, I love it. That's awesome.
So we're going to do that. Good question. Well, we miss y'all tremendously at Haygood. We miss everybody, but it's so good to see y'all's faces, and I just so thankful for Haygood for the very reason that it has great people like you guys. So glad to see y'all. Look, blessings on all y'all's work. And Eric, I look forward to hearing more about what happens at Georgia Tech. I'm a dog, right? I went to University of Georgia, and I was hoping to see Georgia and Georgia Tech be able to play football. I will say I've come to a new understanding about how cool Georgia Tech is, though. So I look forward to being on campus at some point too, and just checking out the campus a little bit.
Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, thanks y'all for being a part of our episode. We appreciate it.
All right.
Thanks,
Thank
Will.
you.
Take care.
All right.